Breaking news! Pizza Hut is bringing the nostalgia back. I'll explain in a minute. To reward Pizza Hut for bringing nostalgia back, I got 2 large pizzas, thin and crispy, with ground beef or hamburger, if you will, and black olive. I know a lot of you are going, ew, black olive. Well, guess what? It's my body and my choice, and I'm happy with my 2 pizzas. That was the first one. And here's the second one, just as proof that I got 2. And you know what I'm going to wash it down with? I know a lot of y'all like the competition, but it's going to be an ice cold Pepsi. Yeah, that's a nostalgic Pepsi Cola glass. The real nostalgia would have been in this 1978-79 Pepsi Cola Superman the movie glass. I'm so happy with Pizza Hut bringing the nostalgia back. Finally, someone in charge of a major nostalgic franchise, specifically a food franchise, that gets it.
We know a place where you can get a thin and crispy pizza like this, and a thick and chewy pizza like this, and spaghetti like this, and cavattini oven-baked pasta, and sandwiches and salads like this. In fact, you'll find all these good things at the Pizza Hut restaurant. That's right, Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut, there's a lot of good things under our roof. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Let yourself go, say Super Supreme.
Would you look at that pizza?
There's a super new pizza called Super Supreme.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's got 9 super toppings like you've never seen.
I can't believe all the stuff in this pizza. It's super.
Let yourself go, say Super Supreme. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut.
Hey! It's pizza. It's Podblast time!
This ain't just a show. It's a time machine. Buckle up, pop culture fans. You're about to blast back with jazz. He's got the clips, got the knowledge, got the spark. Digging through the past, lighting up the dark. 16 millimeter film, vintage frames, toys and trivia, retro games, comic books, oh they're his thing. Bringing back the joy that nostalgia brings. Let's back, rewind that track. Saturday morning in a Podblast flash. Famous deaths, iconic scenes, laughs and legends from your childhood dreams. Now flip the switch, take it slow. We're going back to the golden glow. Grab your snacks, press play, don't miss your chance. It's a blast from the past with your host, Chance.
That's right, it's Podblast time, special edition. That's because there's some breaking news that Pizza Hut has gone nostalgia, and we're on Nostalgia Channel. We're nostalgia lovers. I got a 2-minute news piece I want to show you. What they're basically doing is they are bringing back the sit-down Pizza Hut with the salad bar, the red plastic cups, the whole family vibe experience, even the sit-down Pac-Man video game and the jukebox in the corner. I'm so excited. Let's watch this news piece to get you up to speed on what's happening in this test market. This is from a news channel in Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania here in the U.S.
It's the big trend right now. Restaurants going retro to try to bring customers into dining rooms. Bradley Blackburn got a taste of how they're putting nostalgia on the menu.
In the hills of Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, a familiar red roof catches the eye. Inside, the vinyl booths, Tiffany-style lamps, and yes, the salad bar you may remember from decades ago.
I mean, it's amazing the comments we have about they have the red cups. Yes, we do.
Tim Sparks got his start working at a Pizza Hut that looked like this. He's now president of Dayland Corporation, which owns this franchise and more than 80 others around the country. They've redecorated many restaurants to rewind the clock.
It looks exactly like the one that I remember from when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what we were after.
Some Pizza Hut classics are now top-performing locations. Customers show up for a piece of their childhood.
It just brings back memories.
To share with their own kids.
When you finally find something that tastes how you genuinely remember it tasting, like, you can't let it go.
People come from 2 and 3 hours away, and I'm not making that up.
More restaurants are serving up nostalgia. Franchises like Burger King and KFC return to old-school logos and packaging in recent years. At Pizza Hut, they even brought back Pac-Man. But for Sparks, this is much more than a game. It's a mission to rebuild places where families can connect.
If we could get them in here as a family, they do tend to put their phones down and actually have conversations and speak with each other. I'm not going to tell you I know how to fix the world, but I do think that family is a good place to start.
He hopes to renovate more of his restaurants as long as he can find enough of those lamps.
They're hard to get?
Yeah, they're almost impossible to get.
A familiar taste.
Well, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Bringing people together.
Just like I remember it.
Again, Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania.
Thank you for that report. Isn't that cool? Don't you love that? I love it. Now, all right, my friend David of Open by Chance Toys, he did a great video about the opposite, how McDonald's is getting away from the nostalgia. Check it out on his channel, Open by Chance, YouTube. No relation. I'm Chance Bartels, hosting the Nostalgic Podblast, of course, no relation. But it's so refreshing that someone at Pizza Hut who used to manage a classic sit-down is now in charge. And he knows what the public wants. I want to know what your memories of Pizza Hut are. Are you a Gen Xer? Are you a millennial? If you are, you probably remember the sit-down Pizza Hut. Even if you're a boomer, certainly if you're a boomer, you remember the sit-down Pizza Hut. I hope they have the pictures of beer, though. The pictures of beer are what really made it for me. And yes, I have some vintage. Someone in the chat, K Moonin in Florida, noticed that I have Superman the movie Pepsi glasses, which has nothing to do with Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut had, as you saw in that news piece, the red plastic cups, which I also have. They're in storage, though, but might as well show some of these glasses. They're really nice, kind of dusty. I need to wash them, but they're Pepsi, and that's the soda that's the brand of Pizza Hut. And what a deal. I got 2 large thin and crispy pizzas, 2 topping for $19.99. So it's almost a rollback price too. Special promotion going on at Pizza Hut. I just wanted to do business with them. As soon as I saw that news story, I ran out and got some pizzas to support their brand. But yeah, these are I have the whole set, Superman the movie. I used to love the fast food tie-in with movies, be it Star Wars or Battlestar Galactica or Superman the movie, like that. But we're talking Pizza Hut, and I played a couple vintage commercials. Here's another one. This is from 1977. It's a little bit on the bad quality side, but it's still so nostalgic. Let's watch it together. It's only 30 seconds long.
Pizza Hut, when you want the works, say Supreme.
When you're hungering for a special kind of pizza, a pizza with the works, a real pizza lover's pizza, say Supreme. Say Cavatini Supreme, and you get deep dish pasta with the works.
When you want the works, say Supreme. It's more of our good things. At Pizza Hut, there's a lot of good things under our roof.
That kid, I had that hairstyle, that bowl cut, and that was before the boxy cut. I'm really dating myself, but in Battlestar Galactica, the original, Noah Hathaway, who later did the Never-Ending Story movies, like almost 10 years later, like 8 years later, he had this little terrible bowl cut, and my mom used to use a curling iron to get my hair to look just like that kid because she knew that I loved that show so much, Battlestar Galactica, the original, the OG. But Pizza Hut, what year do you think Pizza Hut founded? Anybody know in the chat? What was the year that Pizza Hut hit the scene, as it were? Was it in the 1960s? Let's just guess a decade. Let's see if anyone in the chat has guessed. No Google cheating. Let's see if you know. Came in and said Pizza Hut had a Marvel promotion with their own cups and comics. I had the Wolverine cup, but it fell and broke when I was still little. I'm sorry. I remember in 1997 there was a Pizza Hut tie-in with the Star Wars special editions. I still have a pizza box now. I had a Stormtrooper on the box. It was kind of cool. I saved it. But quick Pizza Hut sit-down restaurant memory. Playing soccer. I played soccer for about 6 years with the teams, the Tigers and then the Boomers. And we'd have our wrap party, our season wrap party, where we got our trophies at a Pizza Hut. There were a lot of events like that, birthday parties, and I'm so glad they're bringing this back. Hello to Mikey in the chat, Chatty Blogger MS YouTube channel, and one of my moderators. He says, my mom worked at Pizza Hut back in the early 1980s to help support us 4 kids. Bringing home the messed up orders was so good and fun. And Dakota says it was the best pitcher of beer and a large pizza. It was the best. A pitcher of beer and a large pizza. I love their red glasses too. The red plastic cups. Indeed. I'm going to say 1950s when Pizza Hut was founded. Mel Samantha Dakota says 50s to 1960s. Tracy in Florida, I guess 50s, 60s. You guys are right. It was 50s, specifically 1958. That's when Pizza Hut was founded. Pizza Hut launched on May 31st, 1958. I personally cannot stand that date, May 31st, but I won't get into that. It has nothing to do with Pizza Hut. Just one of my favorite radio stations I worked for went dark on May 31st, 2019. Anyway, Pizza Hut was founded by 2 brothers. Did you know that? Founded by Dan and Frank Carney. And they were both Wichita State students in Wichita, Kansas. Yep. And they were given a $600 loan from their mother to start the business. And the brothers used the name Pizza Hut because the sign could only hold 8 letters. How about that? 6 months later, they opened a second outlet, and within a year, they are operating 6 Pizza Hut locations. The brothers began franchising in 1959 with a location in Topeka. By 1963, there were 24 Pizza Hut locations in the U.S. Let's see. One early employee at Pizza Hut was future Pro Football Hall of Famer head coach Bill Parcells, who had worked for the company while a college student and football player at Wichita State University. I remember being in college. Papa John's was becoming popular in the early 90s. Really, I think that founded in 1985, if I'm not mistaken, by a college student, Papa John's. Speaking of pizza. Let's see, by 1966, Pizza Hut had 140 locations and it established its headquarters in Wichita, Kansas. The first Pizza Hut restaurant east of the Mississippi River opened in Athens, Ohio in 1966 by Lawrence Barabrick and Gary Myers. The iconic Pizza Hut building style with the distinctive red roof was introduced in 1969. That's the same year that Wendy's was founded by Dave Thomas about his daughter, Wendy, incidentally. And Pizza Hut later incorporated a corporate logo, also in 1969. And by the end of the decade, there were over 300 locations. And the Carneys took the Pizza Hut company public in the year 1969. So that was a pivotal year in Pizza Hut history, 1969. By 1971, so they were kind of new. I remember in 1976, 50 years ago, as it's 2026 as I'm live, going to Pizza Hut when I was like 5 years old with the family. That was a fun thing to do. There also was a place in the East Cobb County area called Chicago's Pizza that we also like, but I digress. We're talking Pizza Hut. Happy Pizza Hut Day. I'm going to declare this Pizza Hut Day here on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026, as we're live. Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just a blogger, just a podcaster. I'm nobody. I'm not real media. Who do you think I am? You're a nobody, sir. That you'd be correct. All right. So let me just say, in 1971, Pizza Hut had more locations and higher sales than any of its competitors. In the early 1970s,
Pizza Hut opened several other chains to diversify its menu. Speaking of menu, let's look at an iconic menu. And I have some pictures to share with you as well. And then we'll get back to the chat. I'm not trying to ignore the chat. Just want to have some history of Pizza Hut. So, all right, that is the thumbnail image of this video. Here's a real picture from a 1976 Pizza Hut. Look at those guys hanging out, guys and gals. Looks like a lot of fun. But the menu is right here. Look at this classic Pizza Hut menu. Can you see that on your TV? If you're listening to this on Fistful of Radio out of Atlanta or Apple Podcast, I refer you to the Nostalgic Podblast YouTube channel. Click the live tab, and then you'll see the Pizza Hut thumbnail image. And then click that, and we are at the 15-minute, 43-second mark. If you want to scroll ahead and look at the menu, it's really, really cool. Look at the prices, and you see the thick and chewy pizza. I don't remember that. And the thin and crispy pizza, which I'm eating right now. And they also had spaghetti, deep dish spaghetti. And the Supreme. I love the Meat Lovers pizza. They were the first ones to do the stuffed crust pizza. Pizza Hut was. And I liked it when that first hit in the 1990s. They have garlic bread on this menu and even submarine sandwiches, ham and cheese. Where's the Italian, though? I love the Italian submarine sandwich. But it does have a submarine sandwiches. Yeah. So there's that. Let's look at some other photos of the era about the classic pizza. There's the design of it with the red roof. And a lot of these places have been repurposed as cell phone stores and the like. In your community, do you still have a sit-down Pizza Hut? Let me know in the comments, in the replay crew, or in the live comment area. Anyone watching while we're not live, let me know. Do you still have one? In a lot of small towns, you can still find them, but they're coming back. That's the point of this live stream, this live Nostalgic Podblast special, is because the news has broke. They're test marketing these. They're going to bring them back. And I love that. Near me, there's one like within a mile of my home, and it's just empty and it's been painted gray, which I think is sacrilege. How could you do that? They painted it. Oh, it was like a, I think it was a banking institution. And also right next to it was a Steak and Ale. Do you remember Steak and Ale? Those are having a minor comeback as well. I love Steak and Ale's salad bar and like their bread. And I'd always get the lobster tail and prime rib, but I digress. I love that place. So some other iconic, look at some more classic. There's the interior. This is of the newer ones they're bringing back. Excuse me. You have the tablecloth. It looks lonely in there. Look, there's one lady just sitting by herself. Yeah, but there you see the salad bar right there. Here's a 1976 print ad. I love that tin. There's a place near me in Marietta, Georgia called Solar Slice Pizza. It's an independent pizzeria, New York style. And they have those tins for the pizza as well as classic arcade games, pinball machines, video games, comic books, and a whole lot of fun. And they have a liquor license, so you can get a pitcher of beer and some ice cold ones there. And they serve Pepsi fountain products. They have not taken out their fountains, unlike what McDonald's is going to do. Now, I like this print ad from the 1970s of the family having a family outing at the sit-down Pizza Hut. I like that lady. She reminds me of Sandy 2 in the movie Grease. Olivia Newton-John, when she transforms herself, the hairstyle looks like Sandy 2, as she's known in the movie Grease. If My Flock is Everywhere is out there, she'd be cringing because she despises the movie Grease, but I like it. But there again, on this picture, you see the little pizza tin that the pizza pie would be served on. And look how people got dressed up in their leisure suits to go out for a family gathering. Very, very cool. So, see if I have any other images for you pertaining to classic Pizza Hut. There's the thumbnail again. I'm going to put this up again because I love this real vintage photo of folks just hanging out, enjoying a nice pitcher of beer, some Pepsi, some pizza, and some good conversation at your sit-down Pizza Hut. Life was good before cell phones, before the internet. All right, the interwebs, although the military, I think, had them, just like they had cell phones before anybody. All right, Mel Samantha Dakota said, I love their cheese breadsticks. I'm thinking about running down to My Pizza Hut for dinner now. Yeah, I picked up 2 pies, as you saw at the very beginning, thin and crispy, with ground beef and black olives. 2 topping, 2 large, 19. I love carbs. Came in and said, I believe the only Pizza Hut in my area shares a space with Taco Bell. It's also painted gray as well. Mikey says, who is a co-host of this show, more than part-time co-host, he says, back in the late 1970s and the 1980s, there was one. All right, take 2. Back in the late 1970s and 80s, Pizza Hut were one of the most affordable restaurant-style pizza places. Our locale was in Northeast Phoenix, Arizona. Mikey's been under the weather. He's gone public with this, so I'm not betraying any confidence. He's suffered a minor heart attack. Say a little well wish or a prayer, whatever floats your boat. To a restaurant and not like a detention center. Lost the signal. It's so lame. I meant to say McDonald's, not Pizza Hut. It's so lame how McDonald's is phasing out their fountain sodas. I guess they don't want people loitering or something. They just want to make it like David says in his video on Open by Chance about McDonald's. And his thumbnail image is so clever. You see McDonald's going like, Ronald McDonald going like this while a big wrecking ball and a pile driver's destroying the old McDonald's to be remodeled to look like a damn, as you said, detention center came in. And I mean, it looks like a friggin' prison. And taking away the sodas, I don't think it's just about not allowing you to get a free refill. I think David's right. They don't want you hanging around in there. And that's just wrong, you know? I remember these used to be able to smoke in a McDonald's. I mean, relatively late until like the 90s. I have a video I shot in a shopping mall when I was a kid, wink, wink, in 1988, March of 1988. And I film a McDonald's inside a perimeter shopping mall, and you see the ashtrays and everything. I need to put that on my channel. It's a little R-rated because we're using bad language and messing with people. It's like a man on the street, old school, late night with David Letterman, NBC years type of thing, where I'm an annoying jerk just messing with people, trying to be funny. And one guy flips me the bird, and we get thrown out by security. And the security guard thinks it's film. He goes, "I will tell you what we're going to do. Take the film out of that camera and expose it." And then I put on a poker face and pretend like, "Oh, please don't expose my videotape." I knew it wouldn't do a damn thing, right? But yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's all on the tape. I'll put that on my channel. Real footage from 1988. All right. So let's see. Oh, Mikey says, "Thank you, brother, for your thoughts and prayers. Love you, dude." Yeah. Prayers for Mikey. Yeah. I mean, he's such a nice guy. All right. But getting back to Pizza Hut. Let's see let's bring us up to date here with the history of Pizza Hut. Okay. We left off with 1971. Pizza Hut had more locations and higher sales than any of its competition. And then they diversified their menu. That's where I left off, to show you the menu, which I did. A vintage menu from Pizza Hut. Oh my God. Also on the menu, they included fast food Mexican eatery. I don't remember this, Taco Kid, a hamburger restaurant next door, a steakhouse, a flaming steer, and barbecue restaurant, Sutphen's. All 4 ventures were unsuccessful and closed by the end of the decade. Okay, that's why I never heard of them. In the 1970s, Pizza Hut tried to branch out in that regard. Now, PepsiCo acquired Pizza Hut in November 1977. I did not know that. I don't know if that's still the case, but no, it's not. But I don't think Pizza still owns them. But that's interesting. So Pepsi bought Pizza Hut in November 1977. The company had over 4,000 locations by that point in time in late 1977. In November 1977, bit of trivia. In November 77, that's when The Incredible Hulk hit the scene on CBS as a TV movie of the week titled The Incredible Hulk, written and directed by Kenneth Johnson, whom I've interviewed on this show, The Nostalgic Podblast, a couple of years ago. Really nice guy. And I hope to have him back on the show. So let's see here. Okay, so Pepsi acquired Pizza Hut in 1977. All right, we're going to jump ahead to August 1994. That's because Pizza Hut and the Santa Cruz operation announced PizzaNet, a pilot program in the Santa Cruz area that allowed consumers to use their own computer to order pizza delivery from a local Pizza Hut restaurant. So they were innovators in that regard. Wow, with a connection being made over the internet to a central Pizza Hut server in Wichita, Kansas. The PizzaNet application software was developed by SCO's Professional Services Group. PizzaNet was based on the first commercially licensed and bundled Internet Operating System, SCO Global Access. On May 30th, 1997, this is after the tie-ins with the Star Wars special editions, May 30th, 1997, PepsiCo spun off Pizza Hut along with Taco Bell and Kentucky Fried Chicken into a new company named Tricon Global Restaurants, Inc. The company assumed the name of Yum Brands on May 22nd, 2002. On March 31st, 2011, Prism, and that's spelled P-R-I-S-Z-M, Prism, the largest franchisee for Pizza Hut restaurants in Canada at the time, went into bankruptcy protection in Ontario and British Columbia. Do you know that, Mikey? He's in Canada. He's an American living in Canada. In 2015, the oldest continuously operating Pizza Hut, which was the restaurant located in the Aggieville district of Manhattan, Kansas, not New York. It closed after having opened as the 8th location of Pizza Hut back in 1960. That's a bummer. The company announced a rebrand that began on November 19th, 2014 in an effort to increase sales, which had dropped in the previous 2 years. The Pizza Hut menu was expanded to introduce various items such as crust flavors and 11 new specialty pizzas, and the company's employee uniforms were redesigned. In 2017, Pizza Hut was listed by a United Kingdom-based company, Richtopia, at number 24 in the list of the 200 most influential brands in the world. By 2018, the Pizza Hut chain was no longer the biggest in the United States, having been surpassed by who? By Domino's. On June 25th, get the door. It's Domino's. Avoid the Noid. Some of their little slogans there. On June 25th, 2019, Pizza Hut announced it was bringing back the logo and the red roof design that was used from 1976, over 50 years ago almost, until 1999. Wow. I didn't know they retired that in the year 2000. A little Conan O'Brien reference there. Ha, ha, ha. On August 7th, 2019, Pizza Hut announced its intention to close about 500 of its 7,496 dine-in restaurants in the U.S. by the middle of 2021, right during COVID and all that crap. Ah, what a horrible point in time in history, COVID. On August 18th, 2020, the year of COVID hitting, Pizza Hut announced it would be closing up to 300 restaurants after the bankruptcy of NPC International, one of its largest franchisees. In March of 2021, Flynn, that's spelled F-L-Y-N-N, like Errol Flynn, but with two N's. Errol Flynn, who, of course, played Robin Hood in the movies and movie serials. Flynn Restaurant Group acquired NPC's 937 Pizza Hut locations. In 2025, Yum Brands closed 130 Pizza Hut locations, citing the chain's continuing low sales. Yum Brands announced a strategic review of the chain's operations. In February 2026, it was announced that another 250 Pizza Hut locations would close. Note, I didn't say restaurants because to me, they're not restaurants anymore. They're going to bring that back. That's the good news. They're going to bring back the sit-down Pizza Hut restaurant. But right now, they're not restaurants. It's just a place where you can do carry out or order your delivery or Uber Eats or delivery service from. So I'm so glad that Pizza Hut's bringing it back for the families out there. The family experience of the sit-down Pizza Hut. I just hope they have the pitchers of beer. Get that liquor license, Pizza Hut. Make it a true revival. That would be amazing. And have jukeboxes, too, to play music like Waffle Houses have. And I think that Waffle Houses still have the jukebox. And because they're bringing back the sit-down Pac-Man. Genius. That is brilliant. I love that. It touches my nostalgic heart so much. So, yeah. 2025, Yum Brands closed 130 Pizza Hut restaurants, citing low sales. Yum Brands announced a strategic review of the chain's operations. In February 2026, it was announced that another 250 stores would close in the first half of 2026. In April 2026, it was reported that Yum was looking to sell the chain to a private equity. Do that, because you've not done a very good job. Now, I don't know. This individual we saw in the news piece I played, that's one exception. I hope he climbs the ladder to CEO of the new reformed Pizza Hut and the corporate level. Okay. A significant part of the Pizza Hut branding, of course, is the iconic red roof emblem. It was introduced as a distinctive part of the store's building design in what year? Pop quiz. I said it before. 1969, the year that Wendy's was founded. Yeah. So let me get to the chat here in a second. I'm just looking for any updates. Now, I don't remember this mascot. There was an initial Pizza Hut mascot, Pizza Pete, and it's like Little Caesar stole this guy in a way. He was like the Little Caesar with the spear. Pizza. He looked like that, and I should have pulled a picture to show him. I did not. Oh, well. But, yeah, Pizza Pete. I have no memory of Pizza Pete. He was an Italian chef, a mascot for Pizza Hut. Wow. Now, the Pizza Hut logo on the roadside signage at the time of the 1970s featured the character. Oh, that was in okay, hang on a second. That was 1960s. That's why. That was before my time. I'm a kid of the 70s. Okay, that's why I never saw Pizza Pete. Okay. And he was later replaced, obviously. That's why I'd never heard of him. Let me just see. Okay. In 1975, Pizza Hut began testing concepts with Applegate's Landing, with restaurants that featured colonial-style exteriors and eclectic interiors that included a truck with a salad bar in the bed. The chain offered much of the same pizza and pasta dishes, with some additions like hamburgers. I didn't remember that. And bread pudding at Pizza Hut. Applegate's Landing went defunct. Okay, this was a test concept, Applegate's Landing. Okay, it wasn't a Pizza Hut. I can't even comprehend what I'm telling you as I read. Okay, that's why. It had the same pizza dishes as Pizza Hut, but it also expanded, right, to offer things like hamburgers and bread pudding. Okay, but Applegate's Landing went defunct in the mid-1980s, except for one location in McPherson, Kansas, but that one closed in late 1995. So it's a thing of the past. Let's see. An upscale concept was unveiled in 2004 called Pizza Hut Italian Bistro at 50 U.S. Pizza Hut locations. The bistro is similar to a traditional Pizza Hut, but with a menu that included previously unseen items such as penny pasta, chicken, pomodoro, and toasted sandwiches. Instead of black and white and red, bistro locations feature burgundy and tan motifs. In some cases, Pizza Hut was replaced with a red roof location with a new concept. Okay. And I remember this Pizza Hut Express. You'd have them in Target. Remember the personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut? I liked it. It was affordable. Like if you're, a high school student or something, you could get it. And they would have them in some Target retail locations. I remember that. Oh, I forgot all about that. So hang on. The Pizza Hut Express locations are little fast food restaurants that offer a limited menu with many products not seen at a traditional Pizza Hut. These stores often paired with Wing Street. I remember Wing Street, the boneless wings. I think they still have them at some Pizza Huts. I wasn't a fan of those. I don't like boneless wings. It's like a McRib. It's like mystery meat to me. I don't know. Just don't do it. The Wing Street in the U.S. and Canada. Okay. And they put the express locations at college campuses, food courts of shopping malls, theme parks, bowling alleys, and within such stores as, this is what I said from my mind, Target. I remember Target having them. Woo! Okay, now the vintage locations of Pizza Hut featuring the red roof were designed by architect, you might find this interesting, Richard D. Burke, spelled B-U-R-K-E. And they can be found in the United States and Canada, and several exist in the UK, Australia, and Mexico. In his book, Orange Roofs, Golden Arches, Philip Langdon wrote that Pizza Hut red roof architecture is, quote, is something of a strange object considered outside the realm of significant architecture. Let's put that up for those that are watching right there. There's the red roof. I'm going to do this. Let me do a quote. Let's see. So this is what author Philip Langdon wrote with his pointy head. I'm kidding. In his book about the Pizza Hut red roof. The architecture is something of a strange object considered outside the realm of significant architecture, yet swiftly reflecting shifts in popular taste and unquestionably making an impact on daily life. These buildings rarely show up in architectural journals, yet they have become some of the most numerous and conspicuous in the United States today. Sounds like he didn't like him. The word conspicuous is not a flattering word. Screw you, pal. Mr. Langdon with your pointy head. I'm just kidding. I love the red roof. What say you? Okay, not the hotel, the red roof. All right. The name Red Roof is somewhat not accurate now, since many locations of Pizza Hut have brown roofs. Okay. Dozens of these restaurants have closed or been relocated or rebuilt, but they're coming back. They're coming back, baby. That's the purpose of this edition of the Nostalgic Podblast. It's simply Pizza Hut nostalgia and history. Okay. Many of the older locations in small towns of the sit-down Pizza Huts that exist with the red roof design serve beer or have a full bar and music from a jukebox, and in some cases an arcade. Not an arcade, maybe one game. And maybe a claw machine. I love the claw machine. Let's see. In the mid-1980s, the Pizza Hut company moved into other formats, including delivery to keep up with Domino's. Domino's, I remember in 1984 here in the Marietta, Georgia area where I grew up, or was growing up at the time, about 12 miles from where I live now. I remember distinctly the year of 1983, 84, first time you could order pizza delivery from Domino's. And it was quite a thing. It was awesome. My neighbor Larry Hutchison, God rest his soul, and I used to order Domino's a lot. I'm going to get to the chat. I know I said that. I'm sorry. I'm just going to finish my Pizza Hut history here. I'm not trying to ignore you, and I appreciate everyone who tuned in live and those that are listening or watching the replay of this edition of the Nostalgic Podblast about Pizza Hut history. All right. This is a positive day that they're bringing back the sit-down Pizza Hut restaurant. Okay. In 2014, Curbed.com reported, quote, despite Pizza Hut's decision to discontinue the form when they made the shift toward delivery, there were still 6,304 traditional units standing as of 2004, each with the shingled roofs and the trapezoidal windows, signifying equal parts suburban comfort and strip mall anime. Okay. That's an end quote on that. This building style was common in the late 1960s and the early 1970s. The name Red Roof is somewhat ridiculous because they have brown roofs. I already read that. All right. Almost done here, folks, with the history of Pizza Hut. Full bar. Okay. Since 2019, various Pizza Hut locations have been remodeled into Pizza Hut classic formats. Yes. Whose interiors emulate those of Pizza Huts from the 1980s and 1990s and 1970s. 1970s, really. In June of 2024, some locations of Pizza Hut reportedly brought back the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Yeah, man. I remember they had different pizzas on the lunch buffet, like a cinnamon pizza, and they had apple pizza. It was like Cece's Pizza. Do you remember Cece's? It was like a kids all-you-can-eat style pizzeria. I don't think they're around anymore. It's spelled C-I-C-I, Cece's Pizza. They had a pizza buffet. It wasn't very good, but it was all we had. It was all we had. All right. Remember the pan pizza at Pizza Hut? What was your favorite pizza? The meat lovers, the hand tossed? I like the pan. Still, the thin and crispy, which I have right here. That's my all-time favorite pizza. I better not eat while I'm talking. Can't talk with your mouth full, Mama always said. Okay. All right. Here's some products that you remember from Pizza Hut. The pan pizza that I just mentioned. It's baked in a pan with a crispy edge and all that butter. All that butter. The stuffed crust pizza, I loved it. Talked about it earlier today. With the outermost edge wrapped around a cylinder of mozzarella cheese. Then you had the hand-tossed. It's more like a traditional pizzeria crust. You have the thin and crispy, a thin, crisp dough, which was Pizza Hut's original style. Then you had, I remember this too, the dip and strips pizza, a pizza cut into small strips that can be dipped into a number of sauces. You had the P-Zone and the Pizza Calzone hybrid with a marinara dipping sauce that comes in plain, supremo, meaty, and pepperoni. Remember the Bigfoot pizza? I don't know if Danny in South Carolina's out there. I need to look at the chat. Greetings from South Carolina. He's all into Bigfoot. He probably remembers the Bigfoot pizza. Yes. It was their largest pizza product, the Bigfoot at Pizza Hut. Then you had, I don't remember this at all, the Priazzo, a pie-like pizza stuffed with pizza ingredients. The stuffed crust pizza was introduced on March 26, 1995. By the end of the year, it had become one of their most popular items. Regional differences are seen in some of the Pizza Hut products and the bases. The company has localized to Southeast Asia with a baked rice dish called Curry Zazzle by Pizza Hut. On May 9th, 2008, Pizza Hut created the Natural Pizza, which featured natural ingredients and was sold in Seattle, Washington, Denver, Colorado, and Dallas, Texas. This was discontinued on October 27th, 2009 in the Dallas market due to poor sales. Now, Pizza Hut delivered, take two. Pizza Hut developed a pizza to be delivered to the International Space Station in 2001. It was vacuum sealed and about 6 inches, 15. Wow, it was 6 inches in diameter to fit the space station's little oven. It was launched and eaten by Yuri Usachov in orbit. Wow. In the 2010s, Pizza Hut saw a downturn in profits. In 2015, the franchise stated it would be pumping more capital into its London branches of Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is installing cocktail bars in its London branches in London, England, as part of a bid to win back the Nando's generation. In January 2019, Pizza Hut announced that it expanded beer delivery to 300 locations across the U.S. I did not know that. Beer delivery? Cool. With plans to expand to 1,000 locations by the middle of the year in 2019. That would have been perfect for COVID time. Beer delivery? I don't know why in the state of Georgia I never heard of that or ever saw it. Wow. 2019, Pizza Hut announced it expanded beer delivery to 300 locations across the U.S. Wow. Plan to expand to 1,000 by the middle of the year of 2019. In March of 2019, Pizza Hut announced the return of the P-Zone after a hiatus of several years. In March of 2020, right when COVID was hitting, Pizza Hut in Hong Kong announced that it had partnered with a furniture retailer, IKEA, on a joint venture. IKEA launched a new side table called Sava, S-A-V-A, which was designed to resemble a pizza saver. The table would be boxed in packaging resembling a pizza box. And the building instructions included a suggestion to order a Swedish meatball pizza from Pizza Hut, which, of course, IKEA is known for their meatballs, right? IKEA. So they had a Swedish meatball pizza from Pizza Hut, which would contain the same meatball served in IKEA restaurants. How clever and cute is that? In 2021, menu edition designed to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the introduction of the stuffed crust pizza was called Nothing But the Stuffed Crust. And it was a ring of dough filled with cheese. Wing Street, as I mentioned earlier, is the name used for Pizza Hut's chicken wing menu. In 2003, Yum Brands launched Wing Street in combination with existing Pizza Hut franchises. The chain predicted aggressive growth, adding more than 4,000 locations by 2010. In 2012, Pizza Hut opened a standalone pilot store in Denton, Texas. The store was unsuccessful and closed the following year, talking about Wing Street. Real quick, international Pizza Huts. Okay. The international presence of Pizza Hut under Yum Brands includes Canada and Mexico in North America, Japan, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, China, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, Macau in Asia, in Myanmar, and in the United Kingdom, Croatia, and the European Union in Europe, and also in Egypt and Africa. Wow. Multi-continental there. North America, Asia, wow. Africa, Australia. I don't see Australia, but I know Australia has them too. Pizza Hut's China operations are part of the Yum brand spinoff, Yum China. Pizza Hut was one of the first American franchises to open in Iraq. Australia, here we go. Pizza Hut expanded to Australia in 1970, opening its first dine-in restaurant, Belfield, in April of 1970. In September 2016, private equity firm Allegro Funds and a local management team bought the master franchise agreement for Pizza Hut in Australia from Yum Brands. In November 2016, Pizza Hut acquired Australian pizza chain Eagle Boys. Like astronaut Alan Carter in Space 1999 fan fiction, or their universe. He's Australian. He pilots an Eagle. Anyway, Pizza Hut acquired Australian pizza chain Eagle Boys in 2016, November 2016 to be exact. Half of the Eagle Boys stores were converted to Pizza Hut stores by Christmas of 2016, while the remainder were converted by April of 2017. In June of 2023, Allegro and Pizza Hut Australia to U.S. franchise operator Flynn with two N's Restaurant Group. Okay, in June 2023, Allegro sold, let me do this correctly. Allegro, all right, in June of 2023 in Australia, Allegro sold Pizza Hut Australia to U.S. franchise operator Flynn Restaurant Group. As of June 2023, there are about 260 Pizza Hut stores in Australia alone. In May of 2024, Australian franchisee Pizza Pan Group was penalized with a AU Australia $2.5 million fine for sending 10 million marketing spam messages over 4 months in violation of Australian spam laws. There are a bunch of Karens over there in Australia, aren't they? It had been directed to report regularly to the Australian Communications and Media Authority. Government overreach 101. But I don't like spam email, so what am I saying? I mean, good on them, I guess, for cracking down on spam. People, they buy and sell our information almost every day. Anytime you download an app, your stuff's sold. All right, here's Pizza Hut China information. In China, Pizza Hut, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, used an altered business model offering a fine dining atmosphere with knives and forks. I eat my pizza with a knife and fork, except for when I'm on the air. That's the only exception. And when I was with my buddy Jeff Logan yesterday at Solar Slice Pizza, I didn't want to embarrass myself. Say, can I have a knife and a fork in a New York pizzeria? Not happening. Not going to do that and embarrass myself. I embarrass myself enough on this show. Yeah. So China, they have knives and forks and used an expanded menu catering to Chinese taste. So that means they serve what, bugs? I'm just kidding. Its first location in the Chinese market opened in Beijing in 1990. By 2008, Pizza Hut operated restaurants and delivery locations in China. That year, the company introduced Pizza Hut Express, opening locations in Shanghai and other locations as well. The 160 restaurants were in 40 Chinese cities in 2005, and as of 2015, Pizza Hut had 1,903 restaurants in China. By June of 2023, there were 3,000 Pizza Hut locations. As of the end of September 2025, Pizza Hut had over 4,000 outlets in over 1,000 cities in China. Damn. There's even a Pizza Hut in Ethiopia. In 2018, Pizza Hut officially opened in Ethiopia, in Africa. Good. You see how thin those people are over there? Oh, there's one in Israel. Pizza Hut Israel. There's a Pizza Hut in Israel, so that's good too. There's one in New Zealand. The first Pizza Hut store in New Zealand was established in 1974 by businessman Gary Melville Smith, who bought the franchise rights for the country of New Zealand. By 1990, 36 locations have been established across New Zealand. The franchise originated as a dine-in restaurant targeting families and also served alcohol, pasta, salad bars, and desserts. Pizza Hut dominated the New Zealand fast food market during the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, holding 75% of the market share at its peak. The franchisee's successes encouraged other fast food chains, including Domino's, Eagle Boys in Australia, Pizza Haven, and Hell Pizza. What the hell is Hell Pizza? To enter the New Zealand market. All of those were coming to New Zealand. New Zealand's a lot like Australia, right? In 1996, Melville Smith sold the New Zealand franchise back to PepsiCo, which subsequently rebranded as Restaurant Brands in the year 1997, the year of the dreadful Star Wars special editions. In 1998, Pizza Hut shifted from a dine-in restaurant chain towards a takeaway and delivery service in response to changes in consumer behavior. In 2000, Restaurant Brands acquired Eagle Boys New Zealand operations, which are rebranded as Pizza Hut stores. In February 2016, the original New Lynn dine-in restaurant was demolished, boom, and replaced with a takeaway store. In late September 2024, Pizza Hut celebrated the 50th anniversary of its establishment in New Zealand by holding pop-up lunch and dinner buffet and dessert events in Auckland. Now, the Pizza Hut in Pakistan. Pizza Hut Pakistan is the Pakistani franchisee of Pizza Hut. It is owned by MCR Limited and is headquartered in Karachi, Pakistan. Or is it Karachi, Pakistan? It's spelled Krachi, Karachi. The first outlet was opened in Karachi in 1993. Currently, Pizza Hut has a presence in 23 major cities in Pakistan. South Korea. As of August 2018, Pizza Hut has 324 franchises in South Korea since it opened its first store there in 1985. In the UK, Pizza Hut opened for the first time in the United Kingdom in 1973. In 2023, UK Pizza Hut restaurants added Beyond Meat pepperoni to its menus, with pizzas that include the big New Yorker. Didn't talk about that. The New Yorker Pizza Hut pizza. That wasn't on my list. I forgot all about the New Yorker. The Bigfoot took over the New Yorker as the biggest pizza offered by Pizza Hut in Pizza Hut history thus far. Wow, I forgot about that New Yorker. Okay. So United Kingdom. Okay. So they had Beyond Meat pepperoni featured. I mentioned that with pizzas that include the big New Yorker with vegan cheese and Beyond pepperoni. Beyond pepperoni, I guess, is a thing in the UK. It's a big brand. In October 2025, Pizza Hut entered administration in the UK with plans to close 68 of its restaurants, which will result in the loss of 1,277 jobs. 64 remaining restaurants will be acquired by Yum 3 UK Limited as part of a prepackaged deal. Pizza Hut restaurants facing closure in the United Kingdom include popular branch locations such as Romford Retail Park, Greenwich Peninsula, and Hayes Retail Park. The Standard reports. The Standard, that's a Economist magazine. Not The Economist magazine, but An Economist magazine. Okay, here's some former markets. Russia. Pizza Hut began operating in Russia in 1991 when food supplies dwindled during the 1991 Soviet coup attempt, prompting Russian President Boris Yeltsin to call Pizza Hut deliveries in. Pizza Hut suspended operations in response to the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine. Later, some restaurants reopened operations in Russia under rebranded new trademark Pizzan. That's Pittsa with a capital N. Pizzan. Panama in 2022, pizza chain ceased operations in the Panamanian lands after reporting economic losses. Panama. Van Halen. Argentina. Pizza Hut opened in Argentina in 1983. I was thinking of that song, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Olivia Newton-John sang it, and then Madonna. Anyway, and others. Pizza Hut opened in Argentina in 1983. However, they withdrew sometime later. They returned in the mid-1990s, but withdrew yet again in 1998 due to poor sales success. It was announced that it will be brought back to the country in 2025 in Argentina. Pizza Hut's coming back, baby, but the exact date has not yet been confirmed as we're live. In Chile, in 2025, the Pizza Hut chain downsized its operations in Chile as one of its two franchising concerns, food delivery brands, which also handled Telepizza, went bankrupt. And as a result of the economic crisis the country had faced in the past decade and increasing competition from rival chains such as Little Caesars, Pizza, and Papa John's. Some advertising notes. In the U.S., Pizza Hut's first television commercial was produced in 1965 by Bill Walterscheid for the Harry Crow Agency in Wichita, Kansas, and was entitled Putt Putt to the Pizza Hut. Now, do you remember Putt Putt? Very regional. Putt Putt was miniature golf, a chain of miniature golf places with an arcade, and you could smoke in there. It reeked of cigarette smoke in there, but I loved Putt Putt. Anyway, Putt Putt to the Pizza. That's a 1965 ad campaign. The ad looks just like an old movie and was set in fast motion. It features a man in a business suit and a tie, played by actor Ron Williams, who was then a production manager for Wichita's ABC affiliate, not an actor at all. He was a production manager for Wichita's ABC affiliate, KAKE-TV, as he orders takeout, leaves his house, and gets into his 1965 Mustang Jr. to drive to Pizza Hut, where he is chased by a variety of townspeople, portrayed by neighborhood kids. And several employees of KAKE-TV. He goes inside the Pizza Hut to pick up his pizza and drives home. People eat the pizza before the man who ordered it can get any of it, which makes the man very upset, so he calls Pizza Hut again. The ad first aired on November 19th, 1966, during halftime of the Notre Dame versus Michigan State Game of the Century, and it dramatically increased sales for the franchise based on that ad. Putt Putt to the Pizza Hut ran on TV for 8 years and was nominated for an award. Until early 2007, Pizza Hut's main advertising slogan was "Gather Round the Good Stuff," which Dave Sundstrom ripped off, I guess. He likes to call himself the good stuff. This guy, this YouTuber. Gather Round the Good Stuff. I remember that. All right, from 2008 to 2009, the advertising slogan was "Now You're Eating." I don't remember that. It's very forgetful. Now You're Eating. From 2009 to 2012, the Pizza Hut advertising slogan was "Your Favorites, Your Pizza." Don't remember that. From 2012 to 2016, the advertising slogan was, do remember this, making it great. Make it great. That's it. Make it great. That's a variation of the 1987 to 1995 slogan, making it great. Making it. David Naughton, who was in American Werewolf in London, one of the stars, he did a song, making it. I got the goods. I'm solid gold. Anyway. But yeah, making it great. That's probably their best slogan, I think. Pizza Hut's best tagline's making it great, in my opinion. From 1995 to 1999, the slogan was, you'll love the good stuff we're made of. That replaced making it great. That's so lame, man. Someone got a job they didn't deserve over there. You'll love, at that advertising firm or agency, you'll love the stuff we're made of. That's probably trying to compete. Papa John's always claiming they have real tomatoes in their tomato paste. You know, they were kind of knocking Pizza Hut for a while there. All right. The advertising slogan currently by Pizza Hut is no one out pizzas the Hut. That's okay, but I don't know. No one out pizzas the Hut. Pizza Hut sponsored the film Back to the Future Part 2 in 1989. Great point. Great segue. Every time I see that movie, I have to have Pizza Hut. I'm going to show you. I have a Pizza Hut pizza right behind me. I have one of my 2 pies that I bought. It's ice cold now, I'm sure. But here's a thin and crispy right here. And I'll get to the comments. I'm going to eat a piece while I read the comments and put them on the screen. But here it is. Here's a thin and crispy for the camera. Move my mic so you can see it. There. Thin and crispy. I ate some of it, a couple slices. And the other one I just put in my fridge. I put it in Tupperware. That's nostalgia for you, Tupperware. And put it up. But, oh, shoot. Yeah. So the point was advertising, Pizza Hut advertising. Yeah, so Back to the Future Part 2. I love that Pizza Hut scene. I mean, it's definitely crass commercialism, but I'm all about commercialism, so I'm cool with that, and capitalism. But I don't know. It was kind of overt, definitely overt. But remember, McFly, Marty's dad, was hovering upside down because Crispin Glover wasn't in the sequel. They recast not only him, but the love interest. Right? You had fresh off of Adventures in Babysitting. Elizabeth Shue playing Marty's girlfriend. And she did a fine job, but I like the original Jennifer in the original Back to Pizza. That's my favorite. I like Part 2 a lot. I'm going to watch it tonight now that I have Pizza Hut. I turned it off. Like, I tried to watch it and I remembered the Pizza Hut scene coming up and I said, I'm craving Pizza Hut. I'm going to wait. And I stopped the Blu-ray. And, but I watched the first one the other night. I love that franchise. I think the third one's my least favorite Back to the Future movie, the Wild West one, but it's not bad. And they shot Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3 simultaneously. And Part 2 was released in 1989 and Part 3 in 1990. And that's why they had a neat little trailer at the end of Back to the Future Part 2. Like, it was already edited in the can, ready to go, because the movie was pretty much ready to go. Just had some post-production work to be done on the special effects. But anyway, that was a great tie-in, Pizza Hut with Back to the Future Part 2. And they offered a free pair of futuristic sunglasses known as solar shades with the purchase of Pizza Hut Pizza. Pizza Hut also engaged in product placement within the film, having a futuristic version of their logo with their trademarked Red Hut printed on the side of a Mylar dehydrated pizza wrapper. And the McFly... Hey, McFly, anybody home, Biff? Family dinner scene, and they appear on a storefront Hill Valley in the year 2015. The futuristic year of Back to the Future Part 2. I remember they had a Back to the Future pinball machine by Data East. Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. I love the music by Alan Silvestri, who had done Chips. He did this little thing about Alan Silvestri, as well as Avengers movies, but Silvestri redesigned the original composer of the Chips theme, the TV show with Ponch and John in seasons 1 through 5, and then season 6 they got rid of John, just kept Ponch because egos. But they had a very basic dun 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 theme in season 1. Alan Silvestri took over from Parker the musical chores of Chips and discoized it, made the theme a lot better with that beat at the beginning. Bum, 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 I love that version of the Chips theme better than the original version. Anyway, I digress. So Back to the Future, yeah, and the Robert Zemeckis direction, the Spielberg elements, just good stuff. Back to the Future. That's one thing I hope they probably will eventually they'll bring it back, refurbish it, and it'll suck. No, I don't know. I'll try to keep an open mind. Okay, so Pizza Hut. So they also in 1990, Pizza Hut spent a reported $20 million to sponsor the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Coming Out of Their Shells live musical. I kid you not. Sponsored by Pizza Hut. The company also gave out a Ninja Turtle audio cassette as part of the promotion. In 1990, the NES game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, came with a coupon for a free pizza at Pizza Hut. The game included Pizza Hut product placement in the form of background advertisements and pizza that would refill the character's life and bring them back to life. In the early 1990s, Pizza Hut sought to attract children and pre-teenagers to build its dine-in businesses. Through comedy writer Walter Williams and San Francisco advertising agency Goodby Silverstein and Partners, Pizza Hut created the Pizza Head Show, a series of television commercials to convey the message that Pizza Hut meant weird fun. The commercials featured spokes character Pizza Head and his pizza cutter nemesis Steve. Isn't that funny? A pizza chased by a pizza cutter? I never saw that because I wasn't in the San Francisco market. That sounds pretty cool. I'm going to look on YouTube for that. Are you going to look that up? Okay. In 1995, Donald Trump and his first wife, Ivana Trump, appeared in a Pizza Hut commercial. The last scene of the commercial showed Ivana asking for the last slice, to which Donald replied, "Actually, you're only entitled to half." A play on the couple's recent divorce back then. In 1995, Ringo Starr, surviving Beatle. Of course, Ringo Starr appeared in a Pizza Hut commercial that teased a Beatles reunion, but featured 3 members of the Monkees. I remember that. A commercial with Rush Limbaugh. "My friends from beyond the grave, it is I, Rush Limbaugh, like Rush Windbag," depending on your point of view. That's for going to be equal time there for the Rush lovers and the Rush haters. A commercial with Rush Limbaugh dates from the same year, 1995. That's when he had a TV show as well as a radio show in which he boasts, "Nobody is more right than me." Yet that's when he was really fat too, Rush. Yet he states for the first time he will do something wrong. "I will do something wrong," which was to participate in Pizza Hut's then Eating Pizza Crust First campaign. I remember that too. I forgot all about that. That's for the stuffed crust pizza. Eat the crust first. That was actually very brilliant marketing. Yep. Okay. In 1999, the ad announcer says, and I quote, "The best pizzas under one roof," in the big New Yorker pizza commercial scene on the PlayStation Pizza Hut Demo Disc 1. Also in the year 1999, the game Crazy Taxi for Dreamcast featured Pizza Hut as one of the locations to which players were able to drive and drop off customers. However, in the game's 2010 re-release for Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, all of the product placement, including Pizza Hut locations, were removed and replaced with generic locations. Boo! In early 2007, Pizza Hut. All right. Early 2007 had Pizza Hut move into several more interactive ways of marketing to the consumer using mobile phone SMS technology and their My Hut ordering site on the web. They aired several television commercials commencing just before the Super Bowl, containing the hidden words that viewers could type into their phones to receive coupons. That's almost like subliminal advertising. Hidden words. Ooh, that's not good. Other innovative efforts included their MySpace TED campaign, which took advantage of the popularity of social networking. Let's see here. In 2023, as a promotional tie-in to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem animated film, Pizza Hut began offering delivery to designated locations in the New York City subway system. How crazy is that? Yeah. Would you like a little rat with your pizza, sir? Ugh. Would you like a little poop on your pizza? Nasty. All right, in the UK, I don't know if we need to go through all these advertising campaigns because this is the United States of America based program. This show you're listening to or watching the Nostalgic Podblast. But I'll just say the UK. I have some people in the UK that enjoy the Podblast that's in the audience. In 1996, as part of Pizza Hut's global advertising strategy using celebrities, Formula One driver Damon Hill and BBC Motorsport commentator Murray Walker advertised the stuffed crust pizza, which parodies Walker's extravagant style. Talk show host Jonathan Ross co-starred in an ad with American model Caprice Bure. They advertised the new stuffed crust pizza with Jonathan Ross saying, "Stuffed crust." All right. Following England's defeat to Germany on penalties in the semifinals of the Euro 1996. All right. Several athletes were featured in an advertisement which shows Southgate, that's Gareth Southgate, wearing a paper bag over his head in shame as his penalty miss allowed England to lose the shootout to Germany. Okay. In Russia, we don't care about Russia. I'm just kidding. All right, sponsorships. This is getting a little bit much. TMI here. Let me just do some editing here. Okay, blah, 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 blah. The point is the sit-down Pizza Huts are coming back, and that's Nostalgia 101, so I applaud Pizza Hut. I support them. I'm going to have parties and have them. I'm going to buy pizzas for some parties coming up. I really want to pay it back to Pizza Hut for keeping nostalgia alive and getting it for a change, unlike McDonald's. It's killing nostalgia, not so softly either. It's pretty dramatic what McDonald's has done. Okay. Oh shoot. Pizza Hut was the target of criticism by a World Animal Protection assessment in 2018, which claims that Pizza Hut demonstrated limited evidence of concern with the humane handling of livestock in its operations. In 2021, Yum Brands, the owner of Pizza Hut, committed to only using cage-free eggs in the majority of its locations by 2026, and in all locations by 2030 globally. The commitment came following the, quote, largest public cage-free campaign, unquote, at that time. Okay, got to talk about Spaceballs and Pizza Hut. When we're talking about movies, I mentioned Back to the Future Part 2, my favorite Pizza Hut product placement in a film of all time. But in 1987, the movie Spaceballs, the sequel's coming out. It's the only good thing I can say. I have not seen it, so I'm trying to have it in mind, not be a negative Nancy. Rick Moranis is coming back. And I really like Rick Moranis. He's very, very funny, going back to SCTV and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and everything he's done. Big fan of his. So he's coming out of retirement for Spaceballs. But anyway, in 1987, the comedy movie by Mel Brooks, Spaceballs, featured a character named Pizza the Hut. You know, I have trouble spelling Pizza Hut. I put 2 T's because of Jabba the Hutt and Pizza the Hut. By the way, I have a Star Wars update in just a moment. I've gone how long? Only an hour and 13 minutes. It's not too bad. All right, so Pizza the Hut. It was a parody of Jabba the Hutt in Spaceballs. Made it sound like Pizza Hut. Back to Future Part 2. Oh, in 1992, the film Wayne's World features a scene where Wayne, played by Mike Myers, tells the audience he will not be bought by the corporate sponsors while eating a slice of Pizza Hut pizza. Yeah, that was good. That was a funny little bit on product placement. Yeah, and being hypocritical. That was funny. I like that. Okay, there is a scene set in a Pizza Hut in the 2011 romantic comedy Just Go With It. I have not seen that. I'll have to go back and look. In 2014, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, there's pizza boxes from Pizza Hut in there, prominently displayed in the group's sewer lair. The film Slice of Life, The American Dream, in former Pizza Huts, directed by Matthew Sala and released in 2024. There's a documentary about people who have converted former Pizza Hut buildings across America into a variety of new enterprises. That's interesting. I like to see that. Now that they're coming back, I won't be sad. See, something like that would make me sad if I didn't know that Pizza Hut is planning, and they're already test marketing the revival of the classic sit-down restaurant style Pizza Huts, then that would make me sad seeing how these have all been repurposed. Another good chain that doesn't get it is Long John Silver's. They're too expensive, and they're closing restaurants left and right. Not the healthiest thing in the world, a lot of sodium, but man, I love that batter. I love the batter in a Long John Silver's. Big time. Okay, well, that is pretty much all I have in terms of the Pizza Hut history. So now I'm going to show you some items. I talked about this. Now, Pepsi and Pizza Hut are kind of one and the same, right? Pizza Hut uses Pepsi products and have for some time, not Coke. Pepsi, no Coke. Pepsi, no Coke, no Coke. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger. SNL reference there. I'll probably get hit by a bot by just saying that. They're so Xfinity, which owns Comcast, Xfinity Comcast, which owns NBC Universal. Man, they have a lock on their properties, be it the Knight Rider theme song or SNL clips. But anyway, that was a classic bit. Look it up, kids. But there's Pepsi, one of the Superman the movie glasses. This one's in really nice shape. It's at my feet. It's a matter of time before I kick it and smash it. I need to put it in a better place. I want to show you one that shows like an extended scene, a cut scene from the movie. And then I'm going to get to the comments. How many times have I said that now? You're like, it's like the boy who cried comments, right? The boy who cried wolf. Here we go. And it's in the most precocious of places. All right, look at this one. This is from an extended scene from Superman the movie of Lois Lane sitting at her typewriter. That's journalism before computers, folks. When journalists and reporters and writers and newspaper editors used a typewriter, she's looking at Clark Kent on his first day at the Daily Planet. That's an extended scene, and it shows the first time that Clark Kent meets Jimmy Olsen in the Daily Planet in an extended scene, which aired for the first time in February 1982 on ABC TV in the 2-night event of Superman the movie. They showed some of the extended scenes, not all, but all of them have been released in widescreen format by Warner Brothers in 2017 on Blu-ray. They call it the 3-hour cut. And then they also have the director's cut of Superman the movie. It's a great Blu-ray set, and it's in most cases it's $15. It's inexpensive. I thought that'd be a $100 DVD because I think it might be out of print by now. But yeah, so I like that. I'd like that little, and that's the iconic scene where in public Clark Kent transforms into Superman for the first time to save Lois Lane from the helicopter, and there he is saving Lois Lane from the earthquake. Yeah, it even says stuff. Remember that? Lois Lane is saved by her hero. Anyway, I love it. See, I think that's about all I had of Pizza Hut. I've shown you all the pictures I had. Just review. Yeah. Yeah. The inside of the new ones, the inside of the old ones, the family night, the date night. Should I say this on the air? I in college, I went to a sit-down Pizza Hut first date with this gal. And I must have looked like a terribly cheap date. But, you know, of course, I paid for everything. But I got lucky that night. All the way. First date. I'm sorry. Family show. All right. Let's look at the comments. That's what I have. I see 86 comments. Jesus, Lord in heaven. Let me go back and scroll up and acknowledge everybody. But I got to do this the right way. When I say hey to the chat, I've got to do it the romper room way. And what does that mean? Anyone who's new to the Podblast, I play this little video.
You have a good day today, friends. Yeah. I did.
I had a Superman day.
You had a Superman day? Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Spider-Man day.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Well, you know what? Wait. You know what time it is? It's time for me to see the friends at home in the magic mirror. Romper bumper, stomper boo, tell me do. Magic mirror, tell me today, did all my friends have fun at play? All my friends had fun today. I see David's having a special day today, and Olivia Joy had a special day on Sunday. And I see Robin had a special day yesterday, and Dana's having a special day today, and so is Reginald and Edward John and Margaret. And I see Justin and Megan and Courtney and Brick and Mark and Rachel and Sheila and Caroline are all having special days, and Cicely and Ashley and Matthew and Jose, and I see Bonnie and Anthony and Joe had special days yesterday, and so did Tammy and Brandon and Gregory, and of course, friends, you know I see you, and I'll see you again.
Is this thing still on? I got to check this mic. StreamYard tries to mute my mic. That's the software I'm using for the video piece of today's Podblast listeners. Okay. I left off with this. All right. Mikey says Santa Cruz did that to accommodate Silicon Valley families who ordered pizza during that time. Hello to Mikey up in Canada. The Unapologetic Geek. I was just on his stream. We did a stream and I shared it on the Podblast. It was really good about Spider-Man, primarily the Spider-Man films. We covered some Spider-Man comic book history and I showed some of my items. It's on his channel, The Unapologetic Geek, and mine. I need to give him a wrench. He doesn't have one. That's ridiculous. I'll fix that, buddy, if you're still there. He does say he's in the St. Louis, Missouri area. His name's Eric. He's also a published author, and he's got a new book coming out, but he's the Unapologetic Geek for those that want to check him out on YouTube. He commented, there's a Pizza Hut here in Arnold, Missouri, with a lunch buffet that managed to survive the pandemic, but unfortunately, it's still pretty sad, a far cry from its heyday. Yes, but they're bringing them back. Hopefully in your market, in your area, they will bring back the sit-down Pizza Hut because it looks like they're going to do it right, including with the arcade game in the corner and the jukebox. Hopefully the pitchers of beers as well. Kay Moonen in Florida said, since they're bringing back the nostalgic Pizza Hut with arcade game, Street Fighter has to be one of those games. Wow, so much history. I know. Hey, Tracy down in Florida. Tug, the Unapologetic Geek, also said, I've seen pictures of Pizza Pete, and yeah, Little Caesar absolutely ripped him off. Yes, I need to, while we're still live, I need to show the picture of Pizza Pete from Pizza Hut from the 1960s. It's just like the little pizza with the spear, the little Greek guy. Unapologetic Geek said, I actually like Pizza Hut pasta, but I've never heard of a Pizza Hut burger. Yeah, that was their offshoot. I messed up. I don't know if you saw that. That was one of their other brands that had burgers. Mikey said, pizza mascot Little Caesars gets old after a while. He does. The Unapologetic Geek said, the tan motif is so frigging depressing. Yes, where they're replacing the red with the tan. Ridiculous. Kay Moonen says, being part Italian myself, that bistro sounds amazing. Yep. And he said, I agree with Chance. Wings are just wrong and plain gross. Yeah, the boneless one specifically. I can't do it. Tug also said, the Unapologetic Geek, it's wild how the shape of a building can evoke so much nostalgia. Yes, same with the A-frame International House of Pancakes. There's only a few left. There's one here in Georgia, or a couple, with the A-frame roof. Mikey said, Red is my favorite color, and I love going into Pizza Hut as a teenager. Such good pizza and affordable prices. Indeed. Kay Moonen said, if they bring back the claw machine, now I'm having another blasting memory of the movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, where you do the claw. I can't lie. A lawyer that can't lie. That was when comedies were good. I mean, I suppose there's some good comedies today, but I love that movie. I need to rewatch Liar Liar. Kay Moonen said, if they bring back the claw machine, they need to turn it up a notch and bring in the Japanese ones with all the anime figures. Yeah. And the Unapologetic Geek said, I'm sorry I didn't notice you there sooner there, buddy. I loved sitting at one of those Pac-Man tables. Yes, because there are sit-down Pac-Mans, of course, and stand-up Pac-Mans. And I like now with modern technology, they can preload like 100 games into one arcade machine. And they also have pinball machines. I have a big beef with these. The pinball machine that's basically a video game, not the same. It doesn't have the eye-hand coordination, the science of keeping the ball from going below those flippers, where you could tilt, you could risk a tilt. Pinball has got to be played with a metal ball. I'm sorry, a real ball bearing. But Tug said, I loved sitting at one of those Pac-Man tables in my local place. It was Miss Pac-Man at my local place. And I can still remember the delicious smell of that classic pizza. Yeah, see, I love it. You're really making me wax nostalgic for Pizza Hut. CC's does still exist. We go there occasionally, even if it tastes like cardboard. He said, good to know. So around here, I don't think CC's is in Georgia, but I'll do a Google search. And I got to remember to look that up. And I have my little Star Wars update. I got to make a note so I don't forget. I want to pull up the Pizza Pete. All right. Chatty Blogger MS, that's the YouTube channel for Mikey, says our Pizza Hut in Phoenix, Arizona had Pac-Man. Then I remember bringing in a Galaga video game table. Genius. Oh, yeah. Galaga is my all-time favorite video game. Even better than its predecessor. Yeah. The Unapologetic Geek says pepperoni lovers all the way. That's his favorite Pizza Hut pie. Good. And Mikey says meat lovers is his favorite. Thank you for responding to my question. I'm sorry it took so long for me to read your reply. Tug says, oh man, I love the P-Zone. I was sad when it vanished. Oh yes. You might want to rewind this or look for it on YouTube yourself. There's a really nice news piece I played, a recent news piece showing, it's 2 minutes long, showing those that are tuning in late and for Tug, that they're test marketing the sit-down Pizza Hut in Pennsylvania State, and a higher up, an executive at Pizza Hut who used to manage a sit-down Pizza Hut is the reason. He gets it. Okay. Mikey said, I miss not being able to enjoy pizza anymore. My top 3 are Pizza Hut, then Domino's in the college years, and then our local Metro Canada store makes good pies. Yeah, and I like real, authentic mom and pop New York style pizzerias and St. Louis style, where Tug is. I love, my mom does too. There's a rectangular New York. There's a rectangular St. Louis style pizza that's really tasty. And everybody knows, I know Tracy loves Chicago, I'm sure, Chicago deep dish pizza. And I guess the stuffed crust pizza was Pizza Hut's answer to the deep dish pizza in a way. The Unapologetic Geek says, no more pizza for you, Mikey. My diabetes keeps me from eating it too often, but I still indulge occasionally. Yes, I don't mean to be a bad influence on your health, but yeah, I understand. Mikey said, I had my heart attack plus the type 2 diabetes, so it has to be avoided, sadly. I'm really sorry, Mikey. I'm not trying to make you crave something you shouldn't eat. Tug, the Unapologetic Geek in St. Louis, Missouri area, says, getting older sucks. I'll eat an extra slice for you next time. And then Mikey said back to Eric, please do, brother Tug, the Unapologetic Geek. Yeah, he's live every Sunday at noon his time, 1 o'clock Eastern time, and 9 a.m. out west. Unapologetic Geek. And I was on last Sunday talking Spider-Man on his channel. He also said Pizza Hut was so well known internationally that the international versions of Demolition Man replaced the Taco Bell scenes with Pizza Hut. Very cool. Yeah, good point. Great factoid. Kay Moonen said he's down in Florida, state of Florida. In Indonesia and Eastern Malaysia all share the island of Borneo. Okay, cool. Yeah. You would know. You just said you're half Italian. Okay, let's see. Now, Mikey had said earlier, Tug, was that the Stallone's Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock film? Yeah. The Unapologetic Geek says, speaking of spam, I know a place in Central Florida that puts it on pizza with pineapple, and it's not Pizza Hut. Very cool. Spam, like not spam emails, spam. Used to be called treat. Spam, the mystery meat that you can buy at your local grocery store. I had a phase where I liked spam, but I'd cook it thoroughly. All my friends said, you'll get trichinosis if you don't cook it thoroughly. There's worms in there. You got to fry them out of there. Never eat spam raw. Remember that jelly in there? That gelatin, that jelly around the spam? Okay. So, yeah. So, Eric confirmed. Yeah, that's the film he's talking about. Now, K Moon says, okay, we'll catch you later. So I'll catch the rest of the replay. Have a great day. Thanks for being here. I appreciate the support there. Unapologetic Geek said, you can see the Pizza Hut scenes on YouTube. It's nothing but a novelty, and it's weird to see it. That's cool. I'm going to check that out. Yep. You had it right the first time it rhymes. Thank you for my pronouncing. Yeah, my pronunciation skills sometimes leave much to be desired. The Unapologetic Geek said, imagining Boris Yeltsin calling in an order at Pizza Hut is cracking me up. Yeah. And then Mikey said, Vladimir Putin, does he even like pizza? He's got a pizza face like I do. He's got a fat face. He probably does. The Unapologetic Geek said, I may have smoked in a putt-putt when I was a teenager. I was bad. Well, no, you weren't bad. You know, that was normal. You were allowed to. I'm talking the 1980s. They had a putt-putt here in Marietta, Georgia. I went there all the time. I loved it. Great arcade. They had pinball, video games. Man, having a flashback. I drove by there the other day on the way to shop at a clothing store, a J. Crew outlet store or retail store. And I was telling my friend, I'm like, that used to be a putt-putt right there. Anyway, and they closed the Wendy's. Nobody cares, but there was a Wendy's that was there for years. And it was there last time I drove by there like a year ago, and it's gone now. It's gone now. But Wendy's, you know, nothing's the same. All right. I never smoked, but I did drink beer, said Mikey. Thankfully, I quit in my 20s smoking. Yeah, I smoked until September of 2010. I quit smoking cigarettes. Yeah. I remember my parents quit in the 1980s, thank God. They're still with us, thank God. Oh, but Mikey said I stopped drinking for Suzanne, his lovely wife. I've been sober since January 1st, 2015. Great. That's good. Good job, Mikey. Many props to your sobriety and for quitting smoking, said the unapologetic geek. All right, so Chatty Blogger MS, that's Mikey, said, thank you. Props to you as well for stopping smoking. And Tug said, the unapologetic geek, if only we could heat up a pizza as fast as they do in that movie. Yeah, Back to the Future, Part 2. Elizabeth Shue. Yep. See, I'm way behind. Sorry about that. Elizabeth Shue. I was having a brain toot there. She is the second Jennifer in Back to the Future Part 2 and in Part 3. And she did a fine job. She's one of my favorite actors. I really liked her. I've talked about this movie a lot in the Podblast, Piranha 3D. And you know who else is in that? Doc Brown himself. And the actor who played Crooge in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. And he was Jim in Taxi. Christopher. He's still with us. But I never thought about that till this very moment, that 2 Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3 stars are in Piranha 3D. And Jerry O'Connell's in it. And Richard Dreyfuss is in it. From Jaws, of course, and many other films. Just a really underrated movie. And Greg Nicotero and his special effects guys did the effects right when Walking Dead was starting in production order time. And they shot that in Arizona in part there, Mikey. Your former stomping grounds. Very fun movie. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Mikey said, I still want my own Star Trek food replicator device someday. Yeah, like in the original Star Trek, they'd press a series of buttons and out would come a chicken sandwich or a cup of coffee or whatever. Yeah, and the old Enterprise, on the good ship Enterprise, USS Enterprise, 1701. Mikey said Claudia Wells was the actress who played Jennifer in the first Back to the Future movie and Elizabeth Shue in the last 2 films. Yep. Go pizza, go, said Tug, the unapologetic geek. And Mikey said to Tug, we own this chat. Yeah, one day Chance will notice. Yep, and I finally did. I'm sorry. My Danny is here. I mentioned you earlier. Danny in South Carolina. Greetings from South Carolina. Yeah. Mikey said, I called Rush Limbaugh Rush Limburger, like Limburger cheese. And there people are saying hey to each other. Now I want pizza. I know, man. You should have seen earlier. Catch the replay. I played some vintage ads. You know, they don't have the gooey cheese at Pizza Hut anymore. Tug said, as I take a swig of Pepsi, I need a piece of my thin and crispy pizza with ground beef and black olives. I know a lot of people say yuck, but it's my body, my choice. Tug says, I don't know how Chance is still talking when he's got a pizza there, right there in front of him. The thing about pizza, it makes you really thirsty. It's loaded with sodium. I mean, it just, yeah. And Mikey said, yeah, he was snacking on the pizza a bit, and then he stopped. Hello to Brown. A Brown 2889 in the chat, watching live, listening live. I'm sorry it took so long to acknowledge, or not acknowledge. I've been acknowledging you, but you know, I was reading my notes on Pizza Hut. My notes. I mean, I got to be honest. It was from Wikipedia. Obviously, I'm just, you know, I don't want to act like I'm some. I do research, but my part-time producer busts my chops about all you're doing is reading Wikipedia. I'm like, no, I do research. I pull clips. Believe me, I do. I do research every time I do a Podblast. I do research and a lot of prep. Believe me, especially the comic book shows. Oh, I should do my update. All right, let me get to the comments, and then I'll do my Star Wars update that I promised, and I'll try to find the Pizza Pete picture of the mascot just to make the show complete about Pizza Hut. I should have pulled that sooner. That's what she said. Tug said at least Cracker Barrel had to abort their attempt to modernize. Thank God. And there was a place here. It was called Fuddruckers Hamburgers. I don't know if you had them in your market, Tug, or anyone else out there listening outside of the state of Georgia, but they were great. It was a hamburger place about nostalgia. There was a 1950s table with Elvis stuff and the like. There was a 1960s table section, rather, with Beatles stuff and the like, and Jimi Hendrix in the 1970s. And around 2014, they got the great idea to do away with all of that. They had an arcade, and they made it look like any other hamburger place, like a sit-down hamburger place. It was like painted red and black. I see a red door, and I want to paint it black. It was like that. I mean, it looked terrible, and they got rid of the nostalgia, and it went out of business soon thereafter, and they deserved it. The location at Windy Hill in Marietta, Georgia, Windy Hill Road, that was the one I noticed. They got rid of it. And then there was one near Town Center Mall, which was built in 1986, incidentally, in Kennesaw, Georgia. That one closed. That was the last one I knew of that closed. They had one near Perimeter Mall in the 1990s. Anyway, it was a nice little place, but the burgers were so greasy, you had to pat them down with napkins because the grease was just, it was too much, even for me. I'm like, but they had a bar, you know, you could pick whatever lettuce you wanted, the shredded lettuce or the full leaves of lettuce, you know, the onion, hit everything, every topping you can imagine, jalapenos, you know, whatever. But Fuddruckers Burgers, it was a nostalgia place, and they killed it. And so thank goodness that Cracker Barrel reversed course because of the people. The public rose up and said, what the hell are you doing? You're changing the logo. You're trying to erase history. It's an old country store. It's a general store and a restaurant. I mean, damn. Hello, McFly. Yum Brands is also owned by the Red Robin. Oh, Yum Brands, Inc. also owned the Red Robin restaurants, I believe. Yep. And I like their slogan. Yum. Speaking of that, Red Robin, that would make sense because that's in their commercials. That was one of their little slogans. Red Robin, yum. It would say that in the ads. And they had bottomless fries, I believe. One went out of business. I used to go to with Al Hardy, friend of the Podblast, part-time co-host, in the Gwinnett County, Georgia area. It's gone. 86, no moss, dead. All right, so let me just get through the comments, and then I have a really cool Star Wars update, including a clip, and this is about Return of the Jedi, because last time I did a show about Star Wars for May the 4th, and I showed every issue ever made of the Star Wars Marvel comic book. I mean, we're talking like 119 comic book covers or so, but I left one out by mistake because I deleted it before I could get to it because my internet was going in and out. It's since been fixed. I had Xfinity come out here and rewire everything, and it's working fine now. But that's besides the point. But I left out issue number 48 of Star Wars. Also, when I talked about the Return of the Jedi Marvel adaptation, I mentioned how it was showing basically a cut scene of Luke Skywalker with his lightsaber before the rescue of the princess on Jabba the Hutt's barge, that classic scene in Return of the Jedi. And I'll show you that deleted scene I was referring to in a moment. Dom DeLuise did a great Pizza the Hut in Spaceballs. Let's see here. And, oh, God. Tug said he ate himself to death. American Dream says at Brown 2889. And then Tracy in Florida said it would be funny to see a space giant. Oh, I love that she's tying in the Space Giants. The Space Giants was a Japanese live action show. It was the first Transformers. Live action, meaning not a cartoon. And I put all 52 half-hour episodes on my channel, and there is an end. It's about an alien named Rodak trying to take over the Earth. And so these Defender robots that transform into rockets are to defend the Earth from monster after monster after monster that Rodak is sending to Earth in his conquest to overtake and take over the Earth and add it to his collection of planets. This guy collects planets like it's a comic book. But Tracy said it'd be funny to see Space Giants with Pizza Hut, Rodak, and Goldar enjoying their meal to sit down Pizza Hut. That's a great flight of fancy. I'd love to see that too. Oh man, I'd love to see that. Oh man. All right, let me just get caught up on the comments. I'm still so far behind. I appreciate all these comments very much. Tracy also said in the classic original television show from Australia, Prisoner Cell Block H, they had a few scenes in a Pizza Hut. Good to know because I've not seen that. Thank you, Tracy. That's a great contribution. I'm going to look at that. That's in my homework. I am taking notes in my mind. B at Brown 2889 also said, I remember those huge laser discs. Yeah. I don't have one behind me. It up. I have a bunch of laser discs. VHS. Yeah. Let's see. Oh God, let me get down here. Get on down. I love wrenches. Okay. When I'm playing that clip, I will wrench you up. I should have done it sooner. I can't believe I didn't. That's a bad oversight because you wrenched me. I mean, you should reciprocate, right? And I had every intention to. I can't believe I didn't do it. I wish like one of my mods were here, like Sarah. Maybe they could do that because I'm kind of busy, but I want to do it. I miss Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, I do too. From The Naked Gun, among other things, and even the Fugitive parody, and Dracula Dead and Loving It. Tracy Rothmeyer said, agreed with the shape of buildings. You could tell what things were before they got destroyed. Yeah, that's called architecture. You're right. Oh, but Tug told me I don't like St. Louis style pizza. That's fine. Mama loves it. Hey, Kevin. Kevin's Theme Park Adventure. I'm just now seeing you. I'm glad you're in the house. Welcome, welcome. So, woo. Let me just see if I make sure I'm not leaving anything out. Dang, I'm so far behind. If we keep chatting, he'll never catch up. It's okay. You're so far behind. I know. I got to make a habit of getting better about the chat. See, that's why when I do it by myself, that's not what she said. Okay. But when I'm by myself on this stream, it is hard to I need a co-host to help me with the chat. I mean, it's difficult. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Let me see. Oh God. I have enjoyed your channel. Thank you so much. And I'm going to add some more UFO episodes. It's called really UFO, Jerry Anderson's UFO. If you're digging that, from TV 69 transmissions I taped way back in 1987 off VHS. Can you believe it? I'm old as dirt. And I can't believe I didn't erase those tapes. Thank God I didn't. Thank goodness I didn't. Chicago style. I knew it. And now I'm getting caught up because Chicago style pizza. I knew Tracy, that'd be your favorite. I think you've said that before. So I knew that, but plus you're from Chicago originally. Oh, Tracy likes the Veggie Lovers. That's her favorite, Pizza Hut pizza. How about that? Tracy said, we're getting a new Fazoli's here in Florida, but then again, there was a Fazoli's here for a long time, and then they finally decided to bring it back after 2 decades. Very cool. Am I caught up? Okay, yeah, I'm almost caught up. All right, let me just scroll down. It jumps on me. Yeah, they smoked on planes. You know what? Cigarette smoking on airplanes was not banned until like 1991. That seems kind of late in time. Now, if you were born in like 1993, you're like, what are you talking about? That was a long time before I was even born. What do you mean? But I'm a kid of the 1970s, so yeah. And come on, smoking section, like you can't smell the smoke in that Airbus. You know, between first class and coach, you're going to smell it. That's probably why they did it. I mean, there's no way to escape the secondhand smoke. Can't do it. Let me see. Oh, Black Olives. I got a good vote for Black Olives from Mikey. Good. So I'm not a freak. Good. Because it seems like everybody hates Black Olives on pizza. It's not like it's anchovies. Anchovies, that's fish. That's fish. Oh, I need to get my teeth. My teeth have been cleaned, but they look a little stained from coffee I've been drinking. Need to get them whitened. It's popular to accuse people of just reading Wikipedia. I get that a lot too. It's a good resource though. But see, we're incorporating our knowledge. You're right, Tug? Like we're not just straight up reading. Like you hear some channels that are literally bot videos with a voice that's a robot, an animated voice, AI voice. It's not even, so that's literally someone hit a button for the voice, the AI to read Wikipedia. That's not what I'm doing. I'm interjecting memories and I change it up. I'm not in most cases reading verbatim, but you know what? That's written by the people, right? So you got to fact check Wikipedia. And also it's okay. It's not like you're plagiarizing, right? I mean, there's sources cited. That's about it. There's no authors. Well, good. I'm glad you all subscribe. Good. See, Tug, thanks for subscribing to my friend Tug, Kevin. I think you'll like his channel a lot. It's a lot more slick than I am. Mine is in terms of the presentation. Like, he's very to the point. He's always on time too. So is Open by Chance Toys, unlike me. Open by Chance YouTube channel. I always get delayed. I'm like, I got to add this. I got, something will happen with my bunny rabbit, my pet, and I'll get distracted and I'm almost always late. And that's bad. I need to be like a real show, like a radio show where you have no choice but to start at 6 minutes past the hour or whatever it is, after all those stupid commercials. I used to sell radio ads and now I hate them. I can't listen to them. I'll listen to a radio show after it's been on where the commercials are edited out. I can't listen to those stupid effing commercials. I just can't do it on a national syndicated radio show or local. I can't do it. And it's weird because I used to sell it. I remember Fuddruckers in Florida, says the Unapologetic Geek. Yeah. Thank you for still hanging in there, man. I've been on a long time. Hell, almost 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes. Well, I'm glad you guys are subbing each other. That's nice. At Brown 2889 also says, I used to work at a buffet restaurant right behind the Big Chicken in Marietta. Are you in Georgia or were you in Georgia? Obviously you were based on your comment, but that is so cool. My first job was near there and I was underage. I was like 15. It's supposed to be 16. I worked in a comic book shop, sort of. It was in the back of a baseball card shop. And there was a little mall near the Big Chicken, and it's still there. And there was what's known as the not Hancock Fabrics. What's that outlet store? Oh my God, Burlington Coat Factory. There's a Burlington Coat Factory shopping center, and they used to have a quarter arcade in there in the 80s and stuff. And there was a little card shop, and I worked. There was a nice gentleman hired me, a nice black gentleman hired me to run his shop on the weekend. And that was my first job. Dad would drive me there, and I didn't even have a license yet. I was 15. And he would take me through the Crystal, which is like a White Castle square hamburger joint. And I'd bring like a sack of crystals. I hadn't thought about that in years. Oh my goodness. I'm podblasting myself. All right. And that was in the 90s. You worked there near the Big Chicken. Very cool there, Mr. Brown, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, Brown 2889. Man, you're so far behind. I know. I'm trying to catch up. I don't mind. I got to get back on track. Oh, about Laserdiscs. Tug says, I used to own a few Laserdiscs. The only one I kept was 2001: A Space Odyssey. I have that disc too. The Stanley Kubrick classic. I have my Laserdisc players, including one that auto flips because there's content on each side. That's the way DVDs used to be. They used to be like Laserdiscs. They used to be dual-sided, and they suck because they would get laser rot like Laserdisc would, where the glue would break down and you have little specks of image on the TV. Make Tug a mod or give him a wrench if you can, Tracy. Can you do that? All right. When at Brown 2889 says, when I was a kid and came back from California in the 1970s after watching Space Giants, I was the strange kid. Other kids were watching Lassie here in Georgia, and I was changing the channel to 69 to be continued. Yeah, I have a co-host. Originally, it was me and Al and sometimes Tom, and then it was, and it's Mikey, but Mikey's been busy and he's recovering, so I didn't want to bother him. Oh, he turned to TV 69 to watch Godzilla and the Space Giants. Slight correction. Space Giants was on Superstation 17. Ted Turner, God rest his soul, he recently passed. I've been meaning to do a special on Ted Turner with Al, and I will. He was sick. He's fine now. And when I wanted to do it the weekend after the passing of Ted Turner, he was not feeling well with a bad head cold, and he sounded kind of rough. So we're going to get that to you. Like I've been saying, and the special on the ABC network, CBS, NBC. I've been promising that forever. But yeah, TV 69 had Space 1999 in the mid 1985 to 1988, as well as UFO, Jerry Anson's UFO, and other ITC properties from bad film prints. And then they had The Fugitive for a while, WVEU TV 69 in 1993. When the movie with Harrison Ford was being released, they ran The Fugitive after A&E had already run it, and WXIA 11 Alive NBC here in Atlanta had run The Fugitive in the late 80s, early 90s, along with Outer Limits and whatnot. Same package, MGM UA. Anyway, I digress. Back then. Yeah. But Godzilla was on TV 69 WVEU here in Atlanta. It started VEU as a answer to MTV for people that didn't have cable. It played nothing but music videos when it's launched in like 1983. Yeah. Okay, so I think we're about caught up. I use IMDb, said Kevin, Theme Park Adventure YouTube channel. Tug says the IMDb trivia page always has fun factoids and sometimes the most random things imaginable, like, quote, this guy was in a movie with Godzilla, which is referenced in this movie, unquote. Yeah, there's some inaccuracies, though. There's a movie called Wild in the Streets, a 1960s counterculture movie, and I have it on Laserdisc, speaking of Laserdisc, and it says Bill Mumy, who played, not Mummy, Bill Mumy from Lost in Space, who played Will Robinson, that he's in Wild in the Streets. He's not. And anyone who reads that, it's not their fault, but Wikipedia is inaccurate in that regard. I don't know if it's been changed. It's been years since I noticed it. I even confirmed with Bill Mumy himself. I sent him a message on Facebook. He knows my ex's dad. They used to work together as child actors. But I wrote him and said, were you in Wild in the Streets? He says, no. It was Barry Williams. He was one of the kids. It was the future Greg Brady. I think Wild in the Streets was released in 1967, probably shot in 66. So Barry Williams, future Greg Brady, was really little and he gets slapped in the face in the scene. Anyway, Wild in the Streets, counterculture movie. Let's see. So we got, it's not letting me scroll all the way down. Okay, here we go. Mikey said trivia, then crazy credits, and then film locales, production plus soundtracks is what I examine on IMDb. Then I do the mini bios of the main stars. Yep. Tug says Crystal gives me the Shinolas. Yeah. 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 Taco Bell could be the same. Eric, I need you to subscribe to the Nostalgic Podblast. Huh? He does. He did. Thank you, though. You're sweet. You're being sweet. You're always sweet, Tracy. Tug says, oh, yeah, always double check the IMDb trivia page. It's notoriously unreliable. And this was a credit. It had Bill Mumy credited as being in Wild in the Streets. He's not even in that film one bit. He was in, he was already filming Lost in Space season 1 or 2 when that movie was filmed. But of course, sometimes people would, like, that's why in some episodes, let's just use Lost in Space as an example. There'd be some episodes where there's no Will, there's no Penny, and they were guest starring on a Western or something that week, or they were sick, but usually they were doing other shows. Like Bill Mumy during production of season 1, the black and white season of Lost Space, he did a Bewitched. Fun fact, he was the other Darren Stevens actor. You had Dick York originally, Dick Sargent. Everybody knows that. He replaced Dick York because Dick York's pain pill problems due to a back injury staying on the set. But Bill Mumy played Darren Stevens in a season 2 episode titled The Junior Executive, where Endora zaps Darren into being, I think, a 10-year-old child. When he's at he falls asleep at his draft table, he's designing an ad campaign, and, she turns him into a kid played by Bill Mumy during the production of season 1 of Lost in Space, 65 to 66 TV season. Mikey said, guess which shows I'll be covering in the fall, Brother Chance. Charlie's Angels, then MASH, series suggested by my lovely wife, Suzanne. Very cool. Let's see. Well, thank you, Tug. I knew you were. All right, I'm going to play this Star Wars clip. I think I'm caught up. And then I can do the wrench thing myself. Let me just put this down, and I'm going to have a piece of pizza too. Let me set this up. I hope I put, if I didn't, shame on me, the picture of the missing. See, I have a series, and I call it Every Issue Ever Made of a Marvel comic book title. And I did one on Star Wars, and I had terrible technical difficulties. My mic was cutting out because I had to have rewiring done. So that's been handled. Hopefully that won't happen again. But it was so frustrating because it took me hours to prepare. I took a photo of each and every, I'll give you an example. Here's some issues right here that I took. I kept these in. I had to delete them because StreamYard, behind a little inside baseball, they only allow you to have 100 images, at least in my plan. And I had like 120 comics. Plus there's images I like to keep up all the time. I meant to show this on Tug's stream, darn it. In our Spider-Man show, the wall my mom painted at my old house. Actually, I went by there the other day with a friend, and she painted that on my wall in 1983 when I was a kid. The Hobgoblin, the Green Goblin, and Spider-Man. anyway, so I had that on there and in StreamYard loaded up for your stream, and I totally forgot to show it. All right. I don't think I could, though. I don't know. I don't know if I would have the ability to, and I could send it to him. Okay, never mind. Nobody cares. All right. Let me just see. I thought I put the issue in there. Well, I didn't. I'm going to get the Pizza Pete. Well, all right. So here's the Star Wars thing. I'm just all over the place. Get to my clips. This is a cut scene from Return of the Jedi, and I like this scene. It's not necessary, but he might, you know what, Tracy, you're probably on the vertical version. Tug's probably, if you duck out of the vertical, he's probably in the widescreen normal version. That's probably why you're not seeing Tug's comment. Okay, so let me find the clip that I pulled for you guys. It's right here. Did I play this pizza commercial? Well, let's do the Return Jedi. I'm all over the place. This ties into the last live show I did, where I showed every issue ever made, minus issue 48, because of a technical glitch of Star Wars. And I have that issue, but it's buried. It's so hard to get to those books, too. This is a cut scene, and it cleared copyright, so I don't have to worry about that. But look, this is a great scene towards the beginning of Return of the Jedi. Check this out, because the reason it ties into the... Did I still keep the picture up? Let me show you what I'm referencing. I hope I did. In the Return of the Jedi Marvel comic book adaptation, they released it as a magazine first, and then they released it as a 3-part limited series. Return of the Jedi. Oh, I should have kept it. Well, it shows a shot of Luke holding the lightsaber in the very first page of issue 1 of the Return of the Jedi Marvel Comics adaptation. It's not here. So anyway, but it ties into to this scene. It was an illustration from this scene. So just like the first film, Marvel saw the first film months before it was released and recut. And so they illustrated some of the cut scenes with Luke and Biggs, yada, yada, yada. There's other scenes that were illustrated in the comic I didn't cover. I should have, where Darth Vader's talking to one of his officers in the halls of the Death Star. It's in the comic book, and I have the scene itself. But here is the cut scene from Return of the Jedi at long last, and I'm going to try to wrench up Tug.
Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
I tell you, this station will be operational as planned.
The Emperor does not share your optimistic appraisal of the situation.
But he asks the impossible. I need more men.
Then perhaps you can tell him when he arrives.
The Emperor's coming here?
That is correct, Commander. And he is most displeased with your apparent lack of progress.
We shall double our efforts.
I hope so, Commander, for your sake. The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am. Dark side of the Force. My son, it is the only way. Luke.
What a forsaken place this is. Why couldn't that bounty hunter have taken Captain Solo to a more pleasant environment? We're leaving. But what about Master Luke? I thought he was going to rescue Captain Solo. You mean we're going to that horrible fortress alone? We're doomed. Of course I'm worried, and you should be too. Lando Calrissian and poor Chewbacca never return from this awful place. Don't be so sure. If I told you half the things I've heard about this Jabba the Hutt, you'd probably short-circuit.
Dead air, dead air. Hey, how about that? All right. All right, Tug, you're taken care of. Is this thing still on? Good. The stream didn't go down, did it? Sorry about the dead air. Okay. Yay. Yes, there's your wrench. There's your wrench. I should have done that a long time ago. Now, Brown 2889 said, but hang on, wasn't that a cool clip? Wasn't that a neat extended scene? See, it's not necessary, but I think it's really interesting because it was such a surprise in Return of the Jedi when R2-D2 just shows up with the lightsaber in his head and he spits it out and Luke does his backflip and starts kicking ass. So I thought that was cool. All right. Had you seen that before? I've never seen that. Really? You? Yeah, isn't that a neat scene? I love it. And I even like the look by Darth Vader. Come on, it's not as bad as the end of Revenge of the Sith. No, I even like that too. And people hated that. All right, so we've got that could be here's another pizza, bringing it back to pizza. But anyway, the thing with the lightsaber, now I am all over the place. I'm like, I can't finish a thought and stay on point. You saw how Luke was holding the lightsaber before he put it in R2-D2's head to be ejected later to rescue the princess. I wish I could show you the comic book illustration. I showed it last time, and it's buried in beneath so many comic book boxes. I can't pull it out easily right now. Oh, but I did find. Let me find the Pizza Hut Pete mascot and see if I can pull that up on this different computer. It should be right here. Oh my God! I have the Return of the Jedi splash page. I can just reload it. Okay, so that scene. I wish I could edit out my whole banter between the clip. All right, look. See him holding it? Now, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but that looks like from the scene I saw. Or, I mean, that's Tatooine. There's R2 and 3PO. There's the twin sons of Tatooine. I don't know. I think like maybe they saw an advanced edit. Archie Goodwin and the other creative people at Marvel. So cool. I could show that, but back on to Pizza Hut and we'll look at another Pizza Hut commercial. Let's see here. Wouldn't it be neat if I had issue 48? Damn it, I don't. I wish I had my issue 48 of Star Wars so I could feel like I went full circle. All right, let me see. Where the hell? I just downloaded it. The Pizza Pete. Well, I'd be damn. Well, I'll have to do it again. I got to stall again and look for it because I loaded it onto my computer and I'm not seeing it. Let's just play a Pizza Hut commercial, shall we? In the meantime, because this is just not good. All right, here's another retro Pizza Hut commercial.
Let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Let yourself go, say Super Supreme.
Would you look at that pizza?
There's a super new pizza called Super Supreme.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's got 9 super toppings like you've never seen.
I can't believe all the stuff in this pizza. It's super.
Let yourself go, say Super Supreme. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut.
Not enough time. Is this thing still? I did it again. Oh, I'm on. Okay, cool. There's that one. Let's look at. Let's see if I have another Pizza Hut commercial. I think I do. Oh, I already played that one, so never mind on that. Let me get to. All right, hang on. Pizza Hut Pete. Let me put in pictures. And then load it. Oh, I see why I can't see it. Hang on, guys and girls. Jeez Louise. I have to convert it. There we go. In StreamYard, you can't do a picture that's like a web app. I have to convert it to like a JPEG, which I'm converting right now as I stall. It's so nice you guys tuned in, Tug and everybody. and Kay Moonen and Tracy. Okay, did it go? Okay. It worked. All right. Finally, I can show you this dude and tell me, do you think this is a ripoff? Do you think that Little Caesars ripped off this this icon? Let's see if I can get it. And then I'll get back to the chat. I see more comments have populated, and I'm glad of that. I appreciate you all. Finally, here it comes. I can show you Pizza Hut Pete. And there he is, the Pizza Hut mascot we were talking about. Very similar in my mind to Pizza, the Little Caesars Caesar. What do you think? Now, I'm going to also... Oh, Kevin says, my sister does not like Pizza Hut. Well, that's okay. Her body, her choice. Unapologetic Geek says, oh, yeah, the notorious web file. I hate those things. I know. I usually see that's another thing. It takes me so long to prepare is I have to convert a lot of images that I show on the Podblast for that reason that I find when I research the topic I'm going to cover. Kevin said, it's been a while since I haven't ate a Pizza Hut. It's been a while since I have not ate Pizza Hut. Very cool. But your sister doesn't like it. Gotcha. When I was growing up, my sister became a vegetarian because she was eating fried chicken and she thought about the animal. And ever since then, she gets protein from like seafood and stuff, but she won't eat like meat. Yay. All right. I'm going to try to find that Star Wars issue 48 because I feel so bad that I had deleted it last week, and then I'll say goodbye. And I'm about run out of topics about Pizza Hut, things to say. I mean, I've told all my big memories, the date in college, getting my awards at soccer for the season. We'd have the season wrap at a Pizza Hut sit-down restaurant. Remember one time we had a birthday party and I dressed in Dad's clothing when I was a kid. And so did my sister, dressed in Mom's clothing rather. And so it didn't fit, right? And we showed up at the Pizza Hut. Memory I hadn't thought about in years. I showed up where I was wearing my dad's business suit, and it was way too big on me. I mean, it was just, we did silly things in the 70s and 80s, didn't we? As families, silly Willy. Okay. Now I want to show you Star Wars issue 48. I can't show you the actual one from my collection. I assure you I have it, but yeah, let me save it. And then I'll feel like I did my due diligence by showing it, even though I couldn't show it in the same video. Let's see, go to downloads, and it too is a web app thing. So I'll have to convert it right fast, quick. What's your favorite search engine? I cannot stand Microsoft. I get the worst results with Microsoft. They suck, in my opinion. All right. Here we go. Let me convert it. Wait for it. It'll be worth it, I promise, because it's such a bad cover. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so what? I'll give a plug to free convert. Oh, I need to plug. Somebody had reached out to me. It has a website about nostalgia, and they rank the best nostalgia podcasts or something. And I ranked in the top. I think I was in the top 10 or the top 15. And he says, could you give us a shout out? And now I got to figure out their name. And I've been meaning to do that. He did this a month ago or something. And I friggin' forgot to do it. And now I forgot the name of the damn website. I got to go find it before I sign off. I have to find another clip to play to stall. All right. Now I got the issue. Oh, God. I thought I ended the show by mistake. Messing up bad. Okay, here is Star Wars issue 48. It's coming up. I did it, even though it's not my actual copy. Why is there a nail sitting there? Here's issue 48, the one that got omitted in my last live show. Every issue ever made of Star Wars for May the 4th be with you day, May of 2026. May the 4th, 2026. There's issue 48. Pretty bad. That's Carmine Infantino, and he was really big in the 1940s in comic books. And he was good when he was younger, but this is when he returned, like 30 years later, kind of after his heyday. And his style of art was very antiquated by this point in time. You had Neil Adams and John Byrne and more advanced comic book artists come along. So this was kind of like dated art. And I thought he drew Darth Vader miserably, the mask in particular. like the head. I just thought it was horrible. But that issue was not shown because I had a technical issue and I deleted it. So now I've come full circle. All right, well, we're going to sign off. I'm going to grab a piece of Pizza Hut. It's ice cold, but that's okay. It's still good in the hood. No, it's still good in the hut. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Pizza Hut's coming back. That's the point. Those that tune in late, still good. Check out the news piece that I played because they're bringing back the sit-down restaurants. Hell, I'll play it right now again. I'll play a little bit of it right now. Yeah. And then I'll sign off and I'll get caught up on the comments. Let's see. Oh, it would help if I went to my videos. Okay. Here is a news piece about Pizza Hut sit-down restaurants coming back. It's being test marketed right now in the U.S.
It's the big trend right now. Restaurants going retro to try to bring customers into dining rooms. Bradley Blackburn got a taste of how they're putting nostalgia on the menu.
In the hills of Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, a familiar red roof catches the eye. Inside, the vinyl booths, Tiffany-style lamps, and yes, the salad bar you may remember from decades ago.
I mean, it's amazing the comments we have about they have the red cups. Yes, we do.
Tim Sparks got his start working at a Pizza Hut that looked like this. He's now president of Dayland Corporation, which owns this franchise and more than 80 others around the country. They've redecorated many restaurants to rewind the clock.
It looks exactly like the one that I remember from when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's what we were after.
Some Pizza Hut classics are now top-performing locations. Customers show up for a piece of their childhood.
It just brings back memories.
To share with their own kids.
When you finally find something that tastes how you genuinely remember it tasting, like, you can't let it go.
People come from 2 and 3 hours away, and I'm not making that up.
More restaurants are serving up nostalgia. Franchises like Burger King and KFC returned to old-school logos and packaging in recent years. At Pizza Hut, they even brought back Pac-Man. But for Sparks, this is much more than a game. It's a mission to rebuild places where families can connect.
If we could get them in here, as a family, they do tend to put their phones down and actually have conversations and speak with each other. I'm not going to tell you I know how to fix the world, but I do think that family is a good place to start.
He hopes to renovate more of his restaurants as long as he can find enough of those lamps.
They're hard to get?
Yeah, they're almost impossible to get.
A familiar taste.
Well, cheers.
Cheers, though.
Bringing people together.
Just like I remember it.
Again, Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania.
Thank you for that report and gave me a chance to have a slice. I played it twice. So nice. I played it twice, at the beginning of the show and at the end. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. I'm going to play a few clips as I show myself out. I show us out. I can't talk. Now I'm losing it. I'm getting punchy. It's like the pitcher's on the mound. The manager has to come out, just tap him on the shoulder. You did good, kid, but it's time to go to the dugout. Yeah. Hit the showers. So that's what I'm going to do. And I appreciate you all. I love you all. Hope you have a great day. Oh, thank you, Tug. And thank you for inviting me to be on your Spider-Man show. And July 31st, 2026 is when the new Spider-Man movie will be released. So we can hopefully in August 1st or whenever do a little review, if not sooner. I appreciate you inviting me on your Sunday show. It was a lot of fun with Damon and everybody and Danny in South Carolina. And we had a good time. All right, everybody. Well, here's my little outro. And we'll catch you next time on the Nostalgic Podblast. You are listening to the Nostalgic Podblast or watching the Nostalgic Podblast on YouTube. And we're on Twitch and audio side, anywhere, tune in, Apple Podcast, Fistful of Radio out of Atlanta. Appreciate you. Have a great week. And as I like to say, stay safe. And for the love of God, don't let no dragons get you. Catch you next time. I'm in hog heaven. Nostalgia hog heaven to boot. Thank you, Pizza Hut.
And thanks for that great deal, too. 2 large pizzas with 2 toppings for just $19.99 plus tax. Good and gooey. This is Chance Bartels with the nostalgic Podblast, signing off.
Saturday's a special night on the Love Boat when the captain's past catches up with him.
Are you going to tell me about sex?
And she wants her daddy. Then on Fantasy Island, an old flame returns to stay.
I love you.
And the boss finally gets his fantasy to come true. Tomorrow.
"13 historic years, J.R. Ewing has double-crossed his friends, betrayed his family, and destroyed his enemies. May 3rd, it'll all be over. It's JR's Judgment Day. Dallas, trust us, it ends with a bang."
Next Sunday, Gary Coleman as you've never seen him before. He's cheered your hearts. Now he's going to touch your hearts in a shocking NBC World movie premiere about a young boy's desperate plea for love and understanding.
I wish to stay out of trouble once and for all. Everything's my fault.
Gary Coleman in Playing with Fire next Sunday.
I want my baby back. Chili's baby back ribs. I want my baby. Chili's baby back ribs. Barbecue sauce. I got my baby back ribs.
And display holder, all for $9.95. And when you act now, you'll also receive this stunning Princess Diana airmail stamp, an $8 value, absolutely free. Call toll-free now.
I would like an N as in Nellie, please. I would like to buy a vowel, please.
Which one?
An A.
Could I have a V as in Victor, please? Here comes Vanna.
I have so much fun up here with this guy.
Watch Vanna every day on Game Show Network.
It's coming 1 week from tonight. This is nuts. The ultimate adventure.
Go away!
Richard Dreyfuss, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, starting in 8/7 Central and Mountain. And in 2 weeks, Bond returns in the biggest space adventure ever. Roger Moore as Agent 007 in Moonraker. Blockbuster hits on the ABC Sunday night movie in November.
Get ready to rewind time. This is the nostalgic